I swear I'm not lying to you. I have a dick that is much bigger than this. You think you've seen it all? I've seen enough. So tell me, my friend, are you gonna shoot that shotgun? Are we gonna get nuts? Then let's get nuts. Uh, I totally meant to do that. It was just the sunglasses. I, I didn't see how deep it was. I totally meant to draw on purpose. Right? Hello and welcome to Lazy Cinema. I'm your host, Lazy Universe, and today we're taking a look at a movie that caught my attention because of a trailer. However, the trailer seemed to have lied to me, so I just got basically Gemini Man flashbacks, but it's still a good movie, just not exactly the great, because it's Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage. When actor Nick Cage's life seems to be going in a downward spiral and he doesn't seem to know a way out, there does come a chance for a different life for him. Everything changes when he meets his superfan, played by Pedro Pascal, that seems to be a little bit more than what Cage is thinking that he is. He gets tangled into CIA with an agent, played by Tiffany Haddish. His life seems to go into a spiral that he never saw coming. Full of mystery, suspense, and a story that you would never see coming. It's one hell of a ride about a man's ups and downs and rises in his own career because it is the unbearable weight of massive talent. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is directed by Tom Gormican, who really understands the situation of Nicolas Cage, as well as also writing the screenplay as well. This is Nicolas Cage just as himself, and what really comes off probably the best part of the movie, in my opinion, is that this is Nicolas Cage as himself. This is a person that we have seen in movies, and he becomes basically well known in pop culture, so to speak. So it's a man that we all can identify with. The only thing is that the remainder of the story, and also the movie as well, really doesn't work, in my opinion. If you want me to be honest, this film really is quite good, especially for the part of Nicolas Cage. Cage plays a struggling actor who's struggling to make his ends meet. He can't stick around with his family. He basically doesn't admire or look into his family. He doesn't have the talent that he used to have because he's a struggling actor now and no one really wants him to be in roles. But yet he still lives off of his fame that really makes it come. Especially when he talked to his advisor, played by Neil Patrick Harris. Harris is trying to get him more roles, but even Harris realizes that he's still this kind of struggling actor. The best part of this movie really does come from Nicolas Cage himself, especially when he has another persona who he called Nicky, who is more like the Nicolas Cage persona that we see in movies like Face Off, Ghost Rider, National Treasure. That really does become like the persona, or even Vampire's Kiss. I just had to throw that in there. Really does feel like it's the persona that we all have seen before. And whether or not Nicolas Cage really does see Nicky, or if he's just in his head and he becomes all of his characters, so to speak, really does speak out for the majority of this film. I really do like the family element that is brought into here, especially Pedro Pascal, who does an amazing job at playing the so-called villain of this movie. That he's a hyper fanboy who obsesses over Nicolas Cage to a well amount of degree, and even to the point where it's kind of like scary that he is this obsessed with just this actor. I mean, we all have our obsession with different actors or actresses that we would love to meet, or we collect everything that they do. And it's not that it's bad, but there are some points where it's like someone's interest to another person can really go into farther territories, and Pedro Pascal's character, Javi, really goes into that territory. And also, I have to say, Pedro Pascal is a very very funny actor in this. He really does comedy very well, and I hope that he gets more comedy roles like this because he does such a great job. Tiffany Haddish feels very left out in the film, and I mean, she is a great actress. Don't get me wrong, I really do love her, and she can be funny in certain roles. But the problem is that I know that this film is not based around her; it's mostly based around Nicolas Cage. But she still does give one hell of a performance for as lackluster as we have her in this film, especially as a CIA agent, which I think is hilarious, especially them trying to turn Nicolas Cage into a CIA agent as well. But that's where this movie suddenly starts to die down, at least. For the most part, they have Nicolas Cage be a CIA agent because they believe that Javi kidnaps a girl that was put in the beginning of this movie. And it's one of these films where it's like it's a comedy in of a real person in of itself. So the movie is like we're making fun of ourselves. Laugh at us, damn it. It's not that it's bad saying that, but I really thought that this movie was going to be about Nicolas Cage maybe meeting like his biggest fan, and then suddenly realizing his biggest fan was a lot crazier than he anticipated. Basically, almost like a better version of the John Travolta movie, The Fanatic, I think it's called. That's what I was thinking, and it really does also feel like it wants to be a drama about Nicolas Cage's life, just put with a few like um, a bunch of fictional things, but adding non-fiction in as well. But the film doesn't do that either. Um, really, also they throw a curveball with the real villain, and I'm like, but that's not really necessary. I see why they did it. It just, for me, I'm just going, but that's not necessary. You'd have to see it to believe it for who the real villain is. I mean, he is kind of villainous in a way that he kind of plans it or he scheduled it out. But at the same time, it's not needed for a film like this. Just saying, it really doesn't fit for a film like this. If you know what I'm saying, it really does not come across like it needed that plot line, especially the huge action scene towards the end. The film didn't need that either. Further, it's just basically a spoof film or even propaganda, if that's what you want to call it. That it's just making fun of itself or of the movies that Nicolas Cage has been in throughout his career. Especially if Nicolas Cage was speaking out for himself, saying that he was a struggling actor before he became one of the world's greatest actors that we all know him as. Then that is personal. There was even some moments where he made fun of himself, especially where he quotes probably the biggest meme that he's known for on the planet. If you don't know it, you'll find out when he says it in the film towards the end of this. Also, this film really likes calling on the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which I heard a lot of people say was like one of the most brilliant films ever created. I have not personally seen it, so I don't have any say on it, but I have seen Paddington 2, and this film is kind of like making fun of Paddington 2. I don't know what the joke is. I think that the director of The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent has also directed Paddington 2. I want to say that is possible, or it has the same writer. I really don't know. I have to look into it, or someone can tell me, but they really keep throwing Paddington 2 under the bus. And I'm like, well, Paddington 2 is kind of like a cute family film, so why the hell would you throw Paddington 2 under the bus? And just, I have no idea, man. It's a really good film, though, for what it's worth in Nicolas Cage. So, some of my favorite films with Nick Cage in it is definitely the two Ghost Rider films and also National Treasure and National Treasure 2 Book of Secrets. It's just that seeing him in this, he's still a good actor, granted, in this film. He's really good. The only thing that really draws back on it is just the story and the script itself. If this would have been a film about Nicolas Cage's inner struggle and maybe do it like a Secret Life of Walter Mitty thing where they like throw in event that's not actually happening but he thinks it's happening, or he's imagining it, something like that would have been great and really well done for this film. But on top of everything else, this is just, in my opinion, not a very good film. It's kind of bad. If only it stuck with what it was intending to do, maybe with like making Nicolas Cage like tell like a drama slash action story that of what's going on in his life. He's a struggling actor. He's a struggling father. He got a divorce with his wife. He's in money debt. He's not as perfect as the world thinks he is. That would have been great. But sadly for the film, for what it is, it's good. It's just not as good as I thought it was going to be. So anyways, if you guys want to see some more massive talent for myself, I had to throw myself under the bus there. Be sure to subscribe, or if you want to see more about the unbearable weight of massive talent that I hold, be sure to also check out some more of my videos in the Lazy Cinema playlist. I've done a lot of them. You guys can go and see the different ones that I've done. And as always, thank you so much. And also, if you want even more talent, you can follow me at Twitter with the link in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'm going to give you guys a clip of the day from the unbearable weight of massive talent. I think you guys will like it. So that is going to be the clip for today. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you next time.